The Senate will come to order. Mr. Carpenter, would you please call the roll?
Senators Baumgardner, Cook, Quorum, Court, Crowder, Danielson, Donovan, Finberg, Fields, Foote, Gardner, Janal, Gonzalez, Hill, Heisey, Holbert, Lee, Lundeen, Marble, Marble, Moreno, Pedersen, Priola, Rodriguez, Scott, Smallwood, Sonnenberg, Story, Tate, Todd, Williams, Winter, Woodward, Zenzinger. Senate District 26, vacant. Mr. President.
Here. With 34 present, 0 absent, 0 excused, and 1 vacancy, and we have a quorum. Senator Priola, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adoption of the journal, Senator Smallwood. Senator Smallwood.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the reading of the journal of Friday, January 11th, be dispensed with and the journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. Is there any objection? Seeing none, the motion is adopted. Members, will you please take a moment to welcome to the chamber Senator Linda Newell. The Secretary of the Senate is in possession of the December 5th, 2018 resignation letter from Senator Daniel Kagan, as well as a certification from the Secretary of State regarding the appointment to fill the vacancy created by the resignation. Senator Kagan's letter shall be printed in the Senate Journal. Mr. Carpenter, would you please read the certificate from the Secretary of State regarding the appointment to fill the vacancy created by Senator Kagan's resignation?
State of Colorado Department of State Certificate. I, Jenny Flanagan, Deputy Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the nomination by Vacancy Committee as filed in this office on January 12, 2019 by the Democratic 26th Senate District Vacancy Committee, appointing Jeff Bridges to fill the vacancy in the office of Colorado State Senate District 26 caused by the resignation of the Honorable Daniel Kagan, and testimony whereby I have set my hand on a fixed grade seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 14th day of January 2019. Jenny Flanagan, Deputy Secretary of State, State of Colorado Department of State Certificate. I, Jenny Flanagan, the Deputy Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the acceptance of nomination by Vacancy Committee as filed in this office on January 12, 2019 by Jeff Bridges, accepting the appointment of the Democratic 26th Senate District Vacancy Committee to fill the vacancy in the offices of the Colorado State Senate District 26 caused by the resignation of the Honorable Daniel Kagan, and testimony whereby I have set my hand on a fixed grade seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 14th day of January 2019. Jenny Flanagan, Deputy Secretary of State.
Chief Sergeant Lombardi, please escort the Chief Justice to the chamber. Will the senator-elect please come to the well to receive your oath of office from Chief Justice Nathan B. Coates?
And do we have your oath of office in front of us?
We don't. Is this?
We don't. I just signed it. There we go. Okay, it's waiting.
All right.
Okay, and you're going to be Jeff Bridges for this
Jeff
swearing
Bridges,
in.
that's right.
Okay, I think I'll just say your name for you.
You can say my name.
Okay.
All right.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jeff Bridges,
I, Jeff Bridges,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
and will faithfully perform the duties of the office
and will faithfully perform the duties of the office
of State Senator,
of State Senator,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I already signed yours, and so I think we're squared away on that,
We did it!
The Senate will stand in a brief recess to congratulate your new senator. Senate will come back to order. Mr. Carpenter, would you please add Senator Bridges to the roll call? Senate Services.
Correctly revised, House Journal Resolution 1004.
General Order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted, and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Moreno will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. Mr. Carpenter, will you please read the title to the bill on the general orders, second reading of bill, consent calendar?
Senate Bill 11 by Senators Williams and Tate and Representatives Garnett and McKean concerning the conversion of certain fermented malt beverage licenses issued under the Colorado Beer Code to malt liquor licenses issued under the Colorado Liquor Code.
Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for the adoption of all of the bill on consent calendar, including general or second reading of bills consent calendar, including Senate Bill 11.
Is there discussion? The motion before the body is the adoption of the bill on the general orders, second reading of bills consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill on the consent calendar is adopted. Majority Leader Fenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come back to order. Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has had one bill under consideration. Mr. Carpenter, will you please read the report?
Mr. President, your committee will place the reports that are in consideration of the following test bills being second reading thereof. Makes the following recommendation once the bill 11 passes second read order and goes to place calendar for their reading and final passage.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
The motion is for the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 19-011 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Message from the Governor.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitution of the State of Colorado, the honor designated appointed submit to your consideration the following Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Higher Education, the Executive Director of the Colorado Commission on Higher Education, effective January 10, 2019, for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor. Angie Petroni, Littleton, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Education.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitution of the State of Colorado, the honor designated appointed submit to your consideration the following Executive Director of the Department of Health Care Policy and Financing, for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor. Kim Demestifer, Parker, Colorado, to serve as Executive Director of the Department of Health Care Policy and Financing, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Health and Human Services.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitution of the State of Colorado, the honor designated appointed submit to your consideration the following Executive Director of the Department of Local Affairs, effective immediately for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor. Richard Rick M. Garcia, Denver, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Local government.
January 8, 2019, the Honorable Colorado Senate, ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate appoint submit to your consideration the following: Commissioner of the Division of Insurance, effective immediately for term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor, Michael Eugene Conway of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Health and Human Services.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate, ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate appoint submit to your consideration the following: Executive Director of the Department of Labor and Employment, effective immediately for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor, Joseph M. Maximo Burrillo of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Business, Labor, and Technology.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate appoint submit to your consideration the following: Executive Director of the Department of Public Safety, effective immediately for term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor, Stanley Allen Hilke of Arvada, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Judiciary.
January 8, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate appoint submit to your consideration the following: Executive Director of the Department of Corrections for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor, Dean Richard Williams of Eagle River, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Judiciary. Announcements. Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the Finance Committee, we will not be hearing any bills this week, but on Thursday, we will be having a joint meeting with the House, and we will be hearing from our JBC about issues related to the Finance Committee. So we will have that meeting Thursday upon adjournment. So members of the Finance Committee, no regular meetings, no bills, but we will have that regular meeting Thursday morning for the Finance Committee. Thank you.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. Happy Monday. Happy Bridge Day. Bridges Day. Wanted to make an announcement for education. 7:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, we will be having a joint education committee and having a report from the Education Leadership Council. Encourage you to be here in 271. Again, joint education, so we will partner up with the House and learn about the commission and the good work that they did. Thank you. Have a great day.
Senator Janol.
Thank you, Mr. President. And this is an announcement for the Clock Caucus. Is everybody familiar with the Clock Caucus? Sounds like some of you are. This is the Colorado Legislators for Animal Welfare. And it's one of the largest caucuses that we have at the Capitol. And it really addresses a lot of issues on animal welfare organizations and to the public, which it is open to discuss current issues that affect Colorado animals, ranging anywhere from wildlife to companion animals. And CLAW meets every Thursday of each month, starting at, not every Thursday, one Thursday at each month, starting at noon, and this year it's going to be in Senate Conference Room 352. And we invite all legislators who are interested or their aides to come to this meeting, and it is going to be January 17th. That's the first month's meeting. We have special guests this month. That will be Governor Polis and First Gentleman Marlon Reese. And also we'll have legislators, and I invite any of you that have bills pertaining to animals, whatever it may be, to come and discuss those at this first meeting. So again, January 17th at noon, Senate Conference Room 352 will be the first meeting, and please let us know ahead of time. I'll have a flyer out on your desk of who to contact in regards to an RSVP a couple days ahead of time so we can have lunches ready for you or your aides when they come by. Thank you.
Senator Bridges.
It's the first time I've been called Senator Bridges from up there, so thank you. Yes, this is the Senate at work. Thank you all so much for coming out here today. I just wanted to let you all know, and this, I think I'm risking a fine here, probably. Yeah, $5. Great. Thank you all so much for coming out here today. No clapping right now. We don't clap in the Senate. There will be a small reception in the West Foyer after this, so just down the stairs that way, and look forward to seeing all of you there after this. Oh, I can introduce my family. Well, I would like to... I don't know the rules in this place. May I have a moment of personal privilege? His first name is thank you. You can say no.
Granted.
Mr. President, may I have a moment of personal... We'll get there.
Granted.
We'll get there. It's still my first day. My family is here. I've got my dad, Rut, my stepmom, Annie. Hey, everybody. No clapping, no clapping. Sorry. My father-in-law, Mike. My mother-in-law, Linda. My wife, Anne Marie. Jerry, and my mom, Barb. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, we do clap. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Again, West Foyer right after this. Thank you all so much for being here.
Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee, we will not be meeting today at 1:30. For your planning purposes, tomorrow, Tuesday the 15th, we will have a joint business meeting with the House Business, Labor, Technology Committee upon adjournment. And we are planning and working on the calendar to schedule bills for Wednesday the 16th at 1:30. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Fields.
Good morning, Mr. President and colleagues. I'd like to request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of Capital Development Committee, there will be no meeting tomorrow. Thank you.
Senators Donovan and Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Wanted to loop back with everyone because I believe I've caused some confusion, so wanted to provide some clarity to the members. You all got on your desk some information about the Cowboy and Cowgirl Caucus. We have been up here previously asking for money for the National Western Stock Show, a junior livestock auction. These are co-efforts, and it's just how you would like to participate in this year's support of our young members of the agricultural community. So take a look at this. If you have any questions, please catch up with the senator from Sterling. This will be a little bit more of a concerted effort where we would also like to recognize you and acknowledge your contribution in a more public way. If this is a little too steep for what your accounts may be able to afford, we still request a contribution from every member of this body in a way that you can afford. But through joining the Cowboy or Cowgirl Caucus, you will be a little bit more of a public supporter of our youth in agriculture. So sorry for any confusion on this. It's a joint effort. There shouldn't be any tagline behind our names when we're supporting the future of ag in Colorado. So hope you will all find a way to contribute to this effort.
Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, colleagues. I just wanted to reiterate Senator Donovan's request just on the basics. So what we're raising money for is the junior livestock sale at the National Western Stock Show. And the reason that I'm joining the team to request these funds and to encourage a little friendly competition, when I was in the House, we always had a competition between the Republicans and the Democrats and between the House and the Senate to see who could raise the most funds. The end goal, of course, being raising the most funds. I was a 4-H kid. I raised livestock. It's an incredibly time-intensive and disciplined, instructive pastime that we should be investing in to encourage this kind of growth in agriculture like Senator Donovan described. And when I went to the fair with my livestock, I raised lambs. Now we're going to buy a steer, but it's similar in a lot of ways. And what these young people go through in order to be the best and the brightest in the National Western Stock Show is an incredible thing. And in a time when we say we want to encourage development in agriculture and the youth across the state, this is a great way to put your money where your mouth is, raise some funds, and help these kids move forward in their bright futures. Thank you. Oh, and secondly, sorry, Mr. President, I'm collecting the dough, so I've got a few bucks so far from some very generous, I will highlight Senator Gonzalez from Denver, a Democrat, Lois Court, also first contribution, she came to me with 20 bucks, and I said, I gave from my campaign like $150, and she said, all right, and she wrote a check right then. So I encourage that kind of generosity. If you can give from your campaign, great. If you've got personal funds, wonderful. I've got an envelope and I'm keeping track of everybody. So thank you very much.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just let me help add to that real quick. Thank you for your help with this. As we do every year, it became a challenge to always come down here and beg for money. So we came up with the new process of the Cowboy Cowgirl Caucus. We do have a Facebook page. If you pay dues, you're on that page, and we will include you as part of that process. If the caucus raises money, and we raise the $250 for a caucus, or I think it's $500 for organization, the caucus will be on the Facebook page as well. The competition will not end. We will still continue to have that competition. And I will tell you right now, there are 4 members, 3 on my side of the aisle and 1 on your side of the aisle. So just saying. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I think half of you got a raise this year, so maybe you could throw a little extra something. Not that we're bitter. Members, we have some bills to read across this afternoon. You do not need to be here. If you want to have a very exciting afternoon, though, you're always welcome to join us. But with that, Mr. President, I move that the Senate recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.
You have heard the motion. Is there any objection? Seeing none, the Senate will stand in a recess until 1400 today.